What's up, everyone? Welcome into More Important Issues. More Important Issues is brought to you by our sponsors, Tennessee Tap House, Hound Dogs, and Tap 40 Bar and Grill, and Blue Water Climate Control. And here's a quick word from our good friends at Blue Water Climate Control.
People always ask, where did we get the name Blue Water Climate Control? When a Navy ship casts off lines, exits the harbor, and loses sight of land, that's blue water sailing. It takes a team of people to do that. Tireless work, focus, and attention to detail. So much of starting a business is just like that. After it's done, you get filled with deep satisfaction for accomplishing something. And it's quickly followed by, now the real work begins. We're Blue Water Climate Control.
Are back.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch. Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now.
I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
What is up, everybody? Welcome into a Thursday edition of More Important Issues. It is Thursday, August 12th. It is, 22 days, I believe? No, 21 days. Exactly, 21 days. I wish I could do math. 21 days until it is football time in Tennessee. And actually, kickoff would have just happened. Landon will be at the game. I will be sitting on my couch.
Yes,
Probably
you'll be right where you were at.
I'll be right where I'm at. Actually, I sit a little closer this way, but you're right where I'm at.
You in the corner?
Yeah, this is an L, no big deal. I've got a sectional. I mean, I'm trying to hide my money, but
yeah, you can't hide that MII money.
No, I do have a sectional, no big deal. But yeah, so I will be nervous as I'll get out. I'll have I need an away game beer. My home game beer is usually Miller Lite. I need an away game beer. I don't. Nothing against Miller Lite. I just don't drink it on my couch. So maybe if anybody knows any good away game beers, we'll call it. Let me know, and that's what I'll choose this year. So
are you trying to go like a light beer? You trying to like?
It doesn't have to be because I'm just on the couch with the AC. No big deal. Also have AC. I know. I'm just gonna look rich to everybody. AC and a sectional.
But it's got to be something that's like year round. Like you couldn't do like a.
I could do Oktoberfest. Now they sell it in like September all the way through December, so I could do that. But I'm not crazy about Oktoberfest.
What about the?
Couldn't do Summer Shandy, that's for sure.
Yeah, you're missing out.
I don't know. We got 21 days.
Yeah,
even though it's technically a home game,
we got time to figure it out.
It's an away game for me, so which is unfortunate. But I was looking at it, man. I'm like, maybe I'll be okay with it. I'm probably gonna miss a couple games this year, but. Yeah, I think I'll be okay.
It is.
I think I'll be okay.
Unless they start winning, then you'll start clearing your schedule, right?
God, dude, I'm like, what if it happens? Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm the curse.
We're 3 weeks away. We might as well start talking ourselves into more wins.
What if we find out this year that I am the curse? Like, I can never move back to Knoxville. Ever.
Yeah, no, you're moving back.
Not Tennessee goes 10-2. I'm not moving back. It's not happening.
I'll kidnap you. I don't care.
You'd rather me live in Knoxville than Tennessee go 10-2. We wouldn't be friends at that point.
I'll like let you live in like Maryville or something like
Fair.
Rockford. It's even closer to Maryville.
There you go. That's perfect. We do have position previews for you guys. Talking corners this episode. Not an offensive line podcast anymore. We loved it.
Too much beef.
Yeah.
Can't do it 2 nights in a row.
It's why I put on weight I had to make weight, so that's why I look a little big this episode.
Yeah, we ate all the meat, and today we had a fart in a skillet. That's what we had.
Yeah. I still don't know what that means. Is that a saying?
I've never heard it before.
I haven't either. So I was just like, I don't really want to, like, I don't want to.
I love it. I don't know what it means.
I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know yet. If someone could explain it to me, I might feel better about it. But I'm out on it right now.
So if you don't know what I'm talking about, Mike Eckler said that that's what he wanted in a punt returner is a fart in a skillet. So
no clue. I'm out. Don't know what it means. We're also going to talk some of the QB room potential movement happening here soon. Maybe we'll find out.
Some drama, baby.
Golly, man. You hope for it to be drama free. It's not. First off, it was never drama free before it, so don't take this the wrong way. But even more so with like guys being able to make money off their name, it's gonna. I mean, it's just the nature of the business now. Right. But I mean, there was already drama before, so I don't think NIL is creating the drama. I think it's just going to maybe elevate it to an extent. We're also going to talk about some of the biggest impact newcomers or freshmen, I guess, not newcomers, because that is a difference. Tennessee has a lot of newcomers, but only so many freshmen. We'll also talk about the Jumbotron. I'm not going to call it a facelift because it was Jason Witten. It was already beautiful, but it did get a new face on it, and we will discuss that, as well as Yves Pons signing with the Memphis Grizzlies, staying in state, Tennessee guy, all the way from France. No big deal. If you got questions, drop them in the chat. We've already got one from Patrick Edie. You guys think I don't know. Who's this? Prunty?
Yeah, he was a freshman All-American at Kansas.
Oh, that one. No,
I
kind of
South Carolina.
I didn't know his name.
Yeah, I heard something today, and I'm not going to repeat it because I don't know if it's true or not, but from what I heard, he's probably moving closer to home.
Where's he from originally?
Virginia.
Gotcha.
Like,
what's that much closer than like South Carolina? Is probably like what, a 2 hour or
it's like Virginia Beach, so okay. Like it's like it's not really near a big D1 school there either. Like in Virginia,
it's probably Virginia or Virginia Tech is the closest.
Yeah, I mean, but even then, like I looked at the map today, they're not even that close. It's like 3 hours probably.
How far did you look? How far Columbia was?
I didn't. No.
Okay.
I mean, you have to go through North Carolina, so it's.
I'm gonna think it's a pretty.
It's probably like 5 or 6.
I was thinking 5 hours. That was what I was thinking.
Yeah, probably something like that.
I'm gonna do it real quick while you're. What I was saying. Drop the questions in the chat though. We got you, Patrick. Thanks for hopping in. Drop those questions in there, and of course we got some segments for you.
Also, tell us where you're listening from.
We haven't done that in a while, have we? Haven't had a good.
I mean, we already started with some. We're looking at geography right now, so yeah. Want to hear about it, big geography guys? So let us know. Let's get into some corners.
Let's talk it. DBs. Well, I guess corners, just corners. I just realized I was kind of prepared for everything, but that's good. Over prepared.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean, we split it up just because we like to. That last week, we like to hammer the quarterbacks or special teams, and then segue right into the football season. So
yeah. It is a 6-hour drive, by the way, from Columbia to Virginia Beach. 6 hours.
Okay. You got people from Louisville, people from Michigan.
Oh, listen from Michigan. I love it.
Wait, what'd you say? You said 5 hours?
6 hours from Columbia to Virginia Beach.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever. All right. Corners. Talking some corners. This is, I'll say, for defensive backs as a whole, because, I mean, there's obviously going to be some overlap. I think as many questions and as many questions as there are on, the defensive side of the ball, especially a linebacker, DBs, I mean, not only do you have quite a bit of experience there, maybe got to figure out as far as the, how much talent you have there. You do have a lot of experience. But you also have a good coach. So that's got to make you feel more comfortable about this position. A good experienced coach in Willie Martinez, you've got to feel more comfortable about it than just about any other position group, I guess, besides defensive line.
Yeah, and you got some experience returning as well. You lose Bryce Thompson. You have 3 guys in Warren Burrell, Kenneth George Jr., and Alante Taylor, who has experience in this league. And a year ago, Warren Burrell was that true freshman that was getting kind of all the hype around him. Mm-hmm. And saw some playing time. Didn't see a ton last season, but I know last season was just different for everybody. But and then they added some competition to that room. They added Brandon Turnage from Alabama, and then Kamal Haddon from Auburn. So get 2 guys that didn't really have a ton of experience, but you add some competition and some high profile guys.
Yeah, I definitely think it. I mean, it obviously helps add in turnage. I think a guy that didn't get to play much at the corner position, but did see the field at as far as special teams goes, which I think says a lot when you're at a program like Alabama. Not that I think he's just going to bring in a ton of a wealth of experience and talent and all that, but I think it does certainly add to that room. It can't take away. But I mean, I think you're going to have a good group to choose from. I think the biggest one that you mentioned that there was just a lot of hype around him going into the season. I know you didn't see much from him. That was Warren Burrell. I think that's a guy who, I mean, I hope you need him to, right? To step into a role.
He has put on some weight. I don't know if you saw him speak with the media or just, the videos, but he's put on some weight. Some good weight, too, not just like.
I was about to say, let's clarify that.
I mean, he definitely could have used some weight last year. I mean, he was skin and bones, bones and skin.
Yeah. For sure. So it's got him listed at 190 now. I have the roster pulled up. So, yeah, I mean, he's just 3 pounds below Alontae Taylor. And I think the biggest thing about Alontae Taylor, and I think you definitely have this in this group for a couple of guys. Alontae Taylor, thought Kenneth George did it well at times throughout the year. They were pretty good in run support. I'm not going to say really good. They were pretty good in run support. Now, passing game, it's a different story, but it also takes a lot of levels past just defensive backs. But I mean, I think those guys, if they can take the next step now and be effective in the pass game, they also dropped a lot of interceptions. That's one thing.
Yeah, and with your defense is going to be asked to get turnovers, and so that's something this group really has to kind of hone in and attack is. And I know they've done a lot of. I know when the media has been present, they've done a lot of. Turnover circuits, which that's probably what you do when the media is watching, do something that doesn't really mean anything. But I mean, yeah, that's something that has to be better. They can't have drop picks, especially with what you lose on defense. This defense might be worse than last year. I hope not, especially with the news we got today coming out of the scrimmage that the defense played good. But that also makes me like, oh, is the offense that bad?
I mean, I think there's definitely going to be level. There's probably both are probably true, I would say. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't think the defense could play much worse than they did throughout at least, some parts of the season. So I think there's probably some truth that they're playing better. I'm excited about Heupel's offense, but I'm not convinced that. I mean, you got to do it first.
Well, and if your offense is able to score, I think that gives a lot of confidence to your defense. And last year you didn't have that. So your defense was like, okay, we're going back out here. If we get a stop, it doesn't matter because we're going to be right back out here and the score is going to be the exact same. So that's got to be demoralizing as well to a defense. So hopefully they get a little bit of boost from the opposite side of the ball.
There you go. That's a good point. I do want to flip back to and continue talking corners just because I think the one interesting point, I think you got to assume Alontae Taylor's the one of the starters at that position. Who do you peg as that? Who do you peg as that second one? Would you agree, Alontae Taylor? Or?
Yeah, I think you got to go with him just because I think leadership and he's been in this program. I just think he's got to be a shoe-in to be a starter. The other side is different from, and I think this is a big year for Alontae Taylor too. I don't think it's just. I think the added competition is probably good for him. But, I mean, it's just all about consistency for him.
I was about to say, I wouldn't necessarily lock it in for him.
Right. Yeah, I think it helps that he's a leader on this team. Desean Rucker talked, and, that's his big brother is Alontae. So, he's taking younger guys under his wing, and that's great. That's great to see. I think that's important for a program. But, dude, you got to show up on the field. I mean, like you said, he shows up in run support. But the bonehead coverages, the BYU a couple years ago, he's just had.
Mention it.
It's just stuff that just can't happen. When you're
to be fair, Jeremy Pruitt might still be our coach if we beat BYU that year, because you're looking at what, probably a 9-win season.
So are you giving Alontae credit for that?
Oh, 100%. Thank you. I didn't. Yeah. I didn't. That makes me sound like I hated Jeremy Pruitt the whole time. That's not the case. I mean, after this year, it was clear he needed to go. But no.
Yeah. This is a money year for Alontae Taylor. As far as the other side goes, I think Kenneth George is. He probably led the nation in drop picks.
But hey, he was there.
He was there. They didn't just throw it over the top of him. So I guess that's something. But I think when you're looking at like talent wise, athleticism, I think Warren Burrell probably gives you more. But again, it's like who's consistent. And Josh Heupel's talked about this in his press conferences. Like if you're consistent in practice, you're going to get more reps, and then more reps leads you to be more prepared for a game day. Mm-hmm. So like if you're more consistent in practice, you're probably going to play.
Yeah, and I mean that's
what it should be, I guess.
Right, and I think that's what kind of makes. I think at several positions, I think corner is one of them. I think it's going to be interesting to see who the guys that step up. Just because I didn't feel like there was a big group last year. I mean, it was the three that we've kind of named, but I also feel like there's some guys. I mean, adding Kamal Hayden and
Brandon Turnage.
I mean, that adds in two other guys that are probably just as talented for, Turnage, if not more, to the group that, I mean, it really makes it interesting to see who's going to be there. You have guys that have been here for, I mean, being within the program, even though it's a different coach, I think that helps you.
You definitely have a leg up.
So, but I think if you don't add those two guys, I think it's easy to see the three people that are going to be on the field the most. You add in those two guys, I think it's almost anybody's ballgame. Like I said, I still assume that day one, game one, it's going to be Alontae Taylor on one side of the ball. But I also wouldn't lock it in. And I think it's just going to be I think the position group as a whole is pretty wide open. And who takes advantage of that? Like Heupel said, like you just stated, who's the most consistent in practice right now? I mean, we didn't see a lot out of that group. So your guess is as good as mine as far as, last year and trying to figure it out for this year. I don't know. I mean, I think it's anybody's ballgame. If you do want playing time, this is another position that it shouldn't be too hard if you really go out there and do the consistent and the right things consistent. You could find yourself as an SEC starter.
Yeah, and I hope this staff does a better job of, maybe taking something from Jeremy Pruitt and learning from him that, if they're not producing on the field, get somebody else in there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's going to be Alontae Taylor and Warren Burrell to start. But if they're not producing, I think, those two guys that you mentioned, Turnage and Haddon, guys that didn't go through spring, so it's probably taking them a little bit of time to get their legs underneath them, get into shape.
Yeah.
And get used to, I guess this defense a little bit. But, yeah, just being in the program, it takes an adjustment period. So, I think maybe by the end of the year you could see somebody else in that starting role.
Yeah, for sure. And I do have a couple of questions regarding the defensive backs and statistic leaders. But you mentioned I don't know. I mean, how difficult is it as a coach? I mean, Josh Heupel mentioned the more consistent you are, the more reps you're getting in practice and that just leads into trust and who we play on game days. It's a hard thing to overcome, but I feel like at the college level, it should be a bit easier. But I mean, if guys just aren't getting it done, no matter if they've been the best in practice, if guys aren't getting it done, why does it take so long to pull them? I don't know. The reason I say I don't understand it at this level of college football or of football is because those guys, I mean, if they're at Tennessee, they're good. I'm not saying they're SEC, they're SEC, all SEC players or they're all Americans or, even necessarily deserve to start. But I mean, they're athletes. Like they're all athletes.
Right.
If you got an offer scholarship. So why is it so hard to just, if a guy's getting burned, well, what the hell does it matter if another guy's getting burned?
It's true. Yeah. Yeah. I think if you're not getting it done, I mean, yeah, obviously, like if they make one bonehead play, you don't take them out immediately. Right. But if it's a constant occurrence in a game, yeah, you try somebody else.
And I get it at like the high school level and probably even lower levels of football. Like looking at, you're like, I mean, that guy can't run. Like I can't put him in there. I get that, but these aren't high school guys that just showed up one Saturday or one weekday in June to a workout and they're on the team. Mm-hmm. Like that's not the case. So I don't get why it's. I mean, I do understand it to an extent of like you saw him in practice all week, who's done it best to this point. But, I mean, it's like the Jarrett Garantano situation. Apparently, he just practiced that well, I guess. He just gave Tennessee the best opportunities. But at what point do you see the product on the field and you're like, it cannot get worse than this?
Right. Yeah. Sure. I mean, that was last year was incredible. It was just incredible. That Kentucky game, more specifically, was just mind-boggling. Because I'm like, yeah, Jeremy Pruitt knows more about football than I do. But in that case, I'm just like,
but are we watching the same game?
Yeah, exactly. Like you start to be like, could I be a college football coach?
Well, for everything Jeremy Pruitt sees, every day of the week, what we saw on Saturday, what did it say about his program? Just like if he looked at the quarterbacks and he goes, well, what I saw Monday through Friday, that tells me a lot about them. Everything we saw on Saturday tells us everything we need to know about you, in my opinion. Like that's the nature of the business. That if you want us to see you in practice, open up practice. But that's not where we see you. So
yeah, and I know the media is probably not seeing a ton more of practice, but they are having more media availability. Like, I mean, a lot of freshmen are talking. And when's the last time that's happened?
I think that has to do with NIL. I think that's a recruiting tool. I don't think it's necessarily. I'm not saying Jeremy Pruitt would have done it this year, but I think if any program across the nation. It's like if you're not Alabama, I don't know what Alabama's looked like. I'm not saying they've had freshmen available or not, or had players available or not. I have no idea. I'm just saying Alabama sells itself by winning. Tennessee doesn't have that luxury. Mm-hmm. But if you want to sell players to come here and to let people to get to know who you are and whatnot, right off the bat, the best way to do that is to put your face on Twitter and Instagram and all that. So I personally think that is an NIL tool / recruiting tool. That's my opinion of what we're seeing.
I like seeing different. You get to see like personality wise, and like you'll see a kid. Hopefully, that's a freshman. You'll get to see him as a senior and see how much he's grown with the media and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of those guys like hold their own. Like I know I'd be pissing in my pants, but they seem comfortable. A lot of them do.
I don't understand why it's always been such a tight lip, like with players availability.
Only seniors or
like, I mean, if the players want to talk, like they should know what they can and can't say. And if they say it, then you pull it.
In camp, there is a meeting. It's about a 2-hour meeting saying what you can and can't say to the media or on social media.
So I'm just like, why is, and I don't know if Heupel would be doing it if NIL didn't exist. I have no idea. I don't know what UCF's program looked like. If anybody does, you can comment. But I do think this is partly an NIL thing. But I've never understood that. I've never understood like the NFL forcing Marshawn Lynch. I don't get that. If someone doesn't want to talk to the media, who cares? Like they shouldn't have to. It's part of their contract. Well, in my opinion, that's dumb. And I know a lot of people are like, well, it's how the NFL, markets themselves. I mean, I feel like the NFL doesn't need Marshawn Lynch to talk to the media to market themselves.
Right.
So it's incredibly dumb.
I have a question.
I know a lot of people like, if you make millions of dollars, you shouldn't have a problem talking to the media. No, that if you don't want to do that, then I would give $1 million less if I was Marshawn Lynch to not talk to the media. Right.
I have a question for you. I want to finish up corners real quick before I ask because I think it'll take us a little bit to probably get through it. So anything you want to add for corners?
I did want to ask you. We got off that tangent. Who leads the team in takeaways? Whether forced fumbles, interceptions, who you have at the corner position? Yeah, because it may be a safety.
I think it'll probably be Alontae. I think he'll have some fumble recoveries, some forced fumbles as well. I'm gonna go with him. But picks, I probably if we're just going picks, I probably wouldn't go Alontae.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Okay.
But man, they need somebody to be as probably even better than Bryce Thompson was last year. And I think that guy has to be Alontae Taylor. So he's got to clean up the bonehead plays, be more consistent. And he played he played well against South Carolina in those first couple games, and then just not to say they played bad, but he didn't play up to his potential.
I think it seemed like the entire defense was like that, though.
That's
in
true.
My opinion.
Yep. So. Yep. Yeah, once they started losing, it was kind of a snowball effect.
Yeah, it was not fun.
Also, Desean Rucker is another guy that they added. I know he's a true freshman and wasn't here during the spring, so he's probably a little bit behind.
He can fly.
But yeah, use speed. So I think he's going to see some – I know we're going to talk about freshmen in a little bit, but I think he's going to see some playing time. Maybe you see some spot duty if games are out of hand, like Tennessee Tech or something like that.
Right.
But I think you could really utilize him in special teams with a guy that runs that fast.
Right. All right. So you said you had a question, or were you done?
Yeah.
with
What do
TV?
you think about practicing so you're a coach. What do you think practicing in the morning, especially right now during it's freaking 98 degrees outside? Do you like it? Do you think it helps with injuries?
I don't know if it helps with injuries, but I would say the energy in an 8 a.m. practice is infinitely better than so I think the two best practice times are 8 a.m. and like 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
I think the midday practices are brutal. I think in high school, when you practice at 4 p.m., you just got the kids out of class. So they're just mentally exhausted. Like whether they actually, I'm not saying their classes are super hard, but they just sat in classes for 7 hours or 8 hours or whatever it is. So I think they're just mentally drained. And it's usually pretty freaking hot, no matter the time of year at that. I mean, other than winter. So I think that time sucks. If I was a coach, I would either practice at 8 a.m., 7, 8 a.m., or 7, 8 p.m. That's the two times I would do exclusively.
Yeah, and I think it gives them a little bit more time in the afternoon to kind of relax, but it also doesn't let them stay out super late either.
No, for sure.
Because they're like, you could be out that late at Cool Beans or Hannah's or whatever, but you're gonna absolutely get your ass whooped that next morning.
Yeah, no, and the evening practices kind of do the same too. Some guys made just like they would though if they had morning practices, they would leave practice at 9, 10 p.m. and go to the bars. But no, I think those are the two best practice times. I didn't realize the change of schedule. I didn't know if it had changed, but I knew they were practicing in the mornings. But yeah, and even guys, even if it takes the guys, girls, whoever you're coaching, even if it takes them an hour to wake up, I still think that second hour is way more productive than your 2 hours that you would have done at 4 p.m.
Right.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, we would practice every now and then in the mornings, and that was probably some of our best practices.
Yeah, well, I think you just, again, even if it takes them a minute to wake up, even though if everyone didn't have their morning coffee, first off, the weather is infinitely better.
Oh, yeah.
And that makes everything better. I mean, sometimes you get those mornings that's just the sun came out. I don't know if the sun woke up at 3 a.m. that morning or something and was just I'm going to be hot today. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, you have some of those, but for the most part, it's pretty cool. You get some shade, and I think those practices are and I think, they're just more enjoyable too because you have the rest of your day.
Yeah, and you kind of it's kind of a way to wake up and maybe get guys to class. Maybe some go back to the dorm and take a nap or whatever, but I know that we had those practices, and it was as soon as you're done, straight to your 8 a.m. Yeah, you shower, you get to class. So yeah, maybe that helps in some other ways and just football. But yeah, I was interested to see kind of your take on it since you
big morning fan.
Big morning fan. I like it. Drama?
QB drama. I don't know. This isn't anything new. That's what's funny. Is someone mentioned it. It's it's kind of been something with this guy specifically throughout his career at Tennessee. Right now, it doesn't look like it has much merit. I think maybe him not being at practice Tuesday freaked everybody out. And for the guy that initially tweeted out is an annoying human being, but there is something to be said. This guy has been open about having some, personal struggles. So that sucks for him. I hope he doesn't value himself. I hope he doesn't put all of his value in where he's at on a football team, because not everybody's a starting quarterback. Not everybody's a quarterback. Not everybody's a Division I football player. Not everyone got a scholarship. I hope he doesn't to be said for this specific player. I hope this isn't anything personal. I hope it's all just football. And if you don't feel like this is the best place for you, I get it. It's time to move on. If you want to be here, cool. Cool. I'll say this. I think he's fourth on the depth chart. I think he was probably as soon as Joe Milton stepped on campus. And it's just the way the world works. It's nothing personal against Brian Maurer at all.
Right.
So I'm not shocked that he's not getting a lot of reps. I'm not shocked that he's upset about not getting a lot of reps. In fact, if he wasn't upset, you question people's competitiveness then. Now, you have to spur that into, being a good teammate because, like I said, not everybody's a starter. So you kind of have to spur that in the right ways, but it's okay to be frustrated. And, it's okay to be mad. It's not okay to miss practice because you're mad, for example. Right. So I don't know. I think, I I'll say this. Judging by Heupel's comments, and they were very, very few words, it doesn't seem like it was a mutual decision for him to miss practice on Wednesday. Like, it doesn't seem like it was like, yeah, we're going to sit this one out since he didn't take any reps today. Seems
Yeah,
like
because like as soon as that came out that he wasn't at practice, then everybody's like, oh, he's gone. And then it was like, oh, he didn't participate today either, but he was still around.
which seemed like a punishment to me. You miss practice, you don't get to participate in the scrimmage. And that's what I'm saying. I'm just reading between the lines.
Mhm.
I would say this looks like the beginning of a departure to me, which we've been saying it. Someone has to leave. It's just the way the world works. Someone's going to leave. Has to. They don't physically, like, it's not like, hey, you got to go. It's just the way the world works. Someone's going to leave.
And I think everybody, wishes him the best of luck. I don't think anybody but no one's really upset that he's leaving either. And, I don't know if that is maybe his problem. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it just seems he kind of wants the attention. He's got the cryptic messages on social media and stuff. And, coaches see that. If you wanted to transfer, opposing coaches see that.
Yeah.
So, you're not doing yourself any favors by putting out that kind of stuff. If you're going to leave, leave.
Right.
And, if you're going to enter the transfer portal, Tennessee's had 30 people do it. It's not just an abnormal thing. It's not rare at all.
Right.
And you're you said, he's fourth on the depth chart. He's probably been that for a while, and he's had his opportunities. He's played in this league. He's super inconsistent, and, he had all spring to really solidify himself to really be in this race and just didn't separate himself. So it is what it is. It's life. It's football. There can only be one quarterback.
Yep. It's the way the world works.
One starting quarterback. I guess you can have multiple, but when has that ever worked out for anybody?
No, I mean, you chose position that's one guy on the field at a time, and usually one guy for the game. Sven mentioned 26 guys left, and you can't make that up at all. It takes time. He said, what is important for the Vols this year is progress and set a culture. I want to read this because he said 6-6 would be okay, in my humble opinion. If we go 6-6, Sven, I will dance butt naked on this show. So you guys better hope they don't win 6 games. Because that will be out of excitement. If Tennessee goes 6-6 to a bowl game, I will be ecstatic. I won't be ecstatic enough to get naked, but I will be not ecstatic. That's not the right word. But I will be very, very hopeful for the future. If they go win 6 regular season games, I think that tells me a lot about what Josh Heupel's able to do, especially in 1 year at a school. Because I think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be easy to win 5 games. I think you're lucky that your schedule plays out and Vanderbilt's so bad that you have 4 guaranteed wins. But you do have to play the games, as we found out in 2019. But you get blessed with a good schedule, and that's just guaranteeing you 4 wins. You got to really go earn that 5th. I know Kentucky's, not a great football team, but they're probably, if you look at the roster, they're probably better than Tennessee pound for pound.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not from a talent standpoint, but absolutely. You got to, from last year to this year, you got to think they're a better football team than Tennessee.
I mean, maybe not individual, but when you look at the position groups, I would say they're more talented. When you look at
they're probably better in the trenches
more
than
depth
Tennessee is.
I would guess. Now, I will say this for Kentucky, because they're excited about their quarterbacks. You only got one new quarterback. I can't remember his name. Your other ones last year got beat out. He was there last year. He got beat out by Terry Wilson before he got injured, guys. So how excited are you really? Because Terry Wilson was, really good, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, he's great. Really great.
Jeez.
Oh, man. Dude, the social media drama, that just drives me up. Because, he's not the only person that's done it, and that's if you're more consistent with the drama on social media than you are on the field, there is an issue.
There's probably I'll say this, he's probably the only one left though, isn't he? That's been like that.
Yeah, pretty much everybody else has
moved on. So I don't know, maybe we'll see.
Kind of nice.
I wish he just tweeted the exact same picture that what's his name? The soccer cleat picture. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Jonathan Kongbo. Yeah, just make it so cryptic that it's not even
make it so specifically cryptic to Tennessee would have been, and I would have been VFL. I don't care what John Adams says about you if you leave early. VFL if he had done that.
It's sad. Like that's what the VFL has turned into the last couple of years.
If you stay more than a half a semester at Tennessee or at VFL.
Yeah.
If you only transfer to one school, Henry Toto, VFL.
God.
Henry Toto's dad, VFL.
Oh yeah, he's definitely VFL, 100%.
God bless. I love it. Big fan of. Dad's talking to the media is. If
that should be the new thing, right?
Dude, I had a great relationship with my dad. If I was like a college or NFL player and my dad was talking to the media about where I want to play or something like that, I would be pissed.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe, and I know that it's a little different culture with, their families are, I mean, me and my dad were close. Me and my family's close. But I know it's a different culture. Mm-hmm. But I don't see how him talking to the media, especially when it looks negatively on you, how you can be happy about that. And maybe him and his dad don't think it's negative, but it's a negative thing to say, to be like, yeah, we messed up the first time.
Yeah. Not a great look, especially like how happy everybody was in that moment when he committed to Tennessee. And then
my first question in a if I'm an NFL GM or someone in the pre-draft interviews, my first question would be like, how, when you make bad decisions, how do you respond? And then, I'm sure he's going to give the interview question with, how positively he responds. Like, so when you said this, what did it mean? Because this isn't very positive.
Yeah. So like, I mean, if you're going to pull the Archie Eli thing, at least you got to go out and win a Super Bowl, right?
The Archie Eli thing was they were just like, we're not going to play her.
Right. Yeah. Like, that was like, oh yeah, we don't want that team. Yeah. It was definitely different. But then like he made up for it where it's like, oh, he's going to regret this. And then he goes and wins 2 Super Bowls. You're like, oh, did he?
I mean, the funny thing about that too, that I think people like want to give Archie a hard time about, and that's fair, like, because it did seem like he spoke for his son a lot. Archie played in that situation.
Oh yeah, he got
where he just got beat to hell, and he didn't want that for his kids. And that's what kind of sucks about the NFL. Like, you could get stuck with the team very, very easily. Like, yeah, sure, you can leave in 3 or 4 years, but you're gonna be beat up after that 3 or 4 years.
Yep. So Matt Adams said, I think Coach Heupel gets us to 7-6 this year.
Matt Adams, what are you drinking tonight?
If you would have said that a week ago, I'd been like, guys, we're not going to a bowl game.
Oh.
But after what Baylor got,
I forgot about that.
I'm like,
it's one of my stupidities.
Dude.
It's one of my stupidities.
Like, Tennessee should not be touched.
No. We'll pay the $5,000 fine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll do that. I mean, probation. What's probation? We got to see our pro officer every now and then.
Is Jeff Bezos at the Patriots game? Matt Adams said he's being serious. Hey, I'm not dogging you. That's like, if that's sure.
Yeah, yeah. That's like a week ago, I said, guys, we're not going to a freaking bowl game. All right, let's just get that straight. But with Baylor not, do you even call that a slap on the wrist? I think that might be a handshake. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, I don't know what you call that. Like, I just need people to understand how laughable it is to make a Division I college football program pay $5,000.
Oh, yeah.
You know how easy it'd be to steal $5,000 out of that budget and never get noticed?
I mean, like, Miami.
They hand that out in McDonald's bags.
Well, I was going to say that Miami booster is giving it out to every single player who walks on campus.
Like, good night.
You get that signing bonus.
I forgot we made it to a bowl game last year. That was so stupid. That was so stupid.
Who are we going to play again?
West Virginia.
Oh, my God.
In the Liberty Bowl.
Thank God.
3-7 Tennessee played in the Liberty Bowl. Like, 2020 was so weird.
Oh, you know they would have made shirts, too, for it.
I would have bought a Walmart shirt. Believe me. Believe me.
Oh, my gosh. That's so stupid.
I hate everything. Okay, let's talk about freshmen this year. Let's discuss.
Fresh what?
What's that from? Freshman.
It's
Rich what? Richmond.
yeah.
Coach Carter.
Got it.
Love that movie.
Um,
There were some real quick. I know I'm way off topic. There were some good movies on TV the other night. I can't remember what I watched before, and then I watched Shawshank Redemption on TV. There's never good movies on TV, and then The Replacements right after. All on my TV. No streaming service.
Chicks
Commercials
with scars.
suck. How they show commercials now without with people like I was at my grandmother's who doesn't have Netflix. How they show that and people how many people do you think watch a movie on TV nowadays? Was I the only one on Tuesday night that watched a movie on TV?
I'm pretty sure Eric Kane was watching The Replacements too.
He may have.
I think he was tweeting.
I saw him. No, I don't know if he's watching. I saw a tweet, but I think it was on Wednesday, unless it was on TV again. Just a great movie. I hope it was on TV again. I did see his tweet. I liked it.
Yeah, who has cable anymore?
My grandmother.
I mean, I don't know anybody else who has cable.
I
I have Hulu Live. I guess
my sister has DirecTV, but she,
Right.
pretty much just has internet, and it came with cable. She has AT&T, and it came with.
Okay.
It was you pay
subscription.
no, not free, but it was an extra $10 or $20 a month.
Okay.
I almost got cable. Comcast is an extra $10, but I decided not to.
But then you had to call them and set it up, and it wasn't worth it.
Wasn't worth it. It definitely wasn't worth it. I can tell you that.
Fart in a skillet.
Farting a skillet. All right, let's talk freshmen. I knew I got off on a tangent. What's who are you most excited for?
I think Miles Campbell.
Okay.
And I think if Austin Pope would be here, I don't think you'd see as much of him. But I think you will see quite a bit of him. I think with as fast as our offense is going to go, as many drives and stuff we should get, I think you'll see some Jalen Wright in there and let him use his speed. Other than that, I don't know if you see a ton of freshmen.
Yeah, I don't know either. And I actually
on special teams probably, but
Right.
not a ton that'll have a huge role, which I guess that's a good thing.
in a sense,
Yeah.
definitely. I was gonna say Miles Campbell, and you've kind of talked me into being excited for him. I think another guy that's, maybe I'm just crazy and I'm overthinking it, but I think a guy you could see in this kind of going into probably not a good thing. I think Aaron Willis. I think you'll see a lot of him.
Yeah, there's not a lot of depth at linebacker, so you could see him. I think you'll definitely see him on special teams. And he's kind of one of those guys. He was here in the spring and got into some trouble.
I forgot he did. He was part of that group,
but is finally getting a footing, and
he didn't get in trouble again.
Sure, yeah. So yeah, hopefully he's able to kind of learn, and maybe you see him toward the end of the season. I just think from the start, I don't think you're going to have a Danico Slaughter start game one of South Carolina. I don't think you'll see that out of anybody this season.
Right. You did mention too, and I think this is probably more of a special teams situation as well. But you may see him also in the defensive unit. I think Desean Rucker. Just his speed's going to get him on the special teams.
Yeah,
making plays on special teams. So, I think you'll hear his name plenty. I do.
Mm-hmm.
Just may not be the defensive plays.
Yeah, two of the guys Katron Evans and what was his name? Isaac Washington. Those guys probably would have seen some playing time in that defensive line rotation, but just had to got in some trouble, had to move on.
Right.
And so didn't get that opportunity. But yeah, not a ton of freshmen that were here this spring are still here. And there wasn't a ton to begin with, but you lost a couple too that probably have some sort of role. But yeah, I think you'll see a lot on special teams. But I think Miles Campbell and Jalen Wright are probably the two you'll see in some sort of role in this offense.
Right. I agree. And we have a comment and then two questions as well, or a question that kind of rolls off this comment. Matt Rimmer said, just here to say Michigan fans are lying about Milton. Dude is underrated and has a cannon. I do think Joe Milton is freakishly talented. I don't know if that necessarily translates into him being a great quarterback. I mean, I'm hoping maybe it just wasn't the right situation at Michigan for whatever reason, and that is the case. But I mean, yeah, I agree, Matt. He is very, very talented. That doesn't always translate to a great quarterback, unfortunately.
I had a Michigan fan, and you can take this for what it is. Tell me
He's a
that,
Michigan fan in East Tennessee. He sucks. I'm going to tell you that right now.
So he's not from East Tennessee. He's from Ohio,
right?
Which
but
that's
even worse.
I don't know. I'll tell you who it was after the game, and you'll laugh about it. But he literally told me
that I like that you just called this podcast a game. I'm sorry. I just couldn't get over that.
Oh, did I say after this game?
You said after the game, I'll tell you about it. That's a football guy. That's a football guy.
I'm keeping up with a game that I'm betting on my phone, too. He told me that Joe Milton is so inaccurate, if Aaron Judge was standing beside of him, he couldn't hit him in the hands.
Why did you choose Aaron Judge?
Well, he's a baseball guy. But like Aaron Judge is like 6'9". So
that's just such a weird everything
I
correlates so strangely.
Well, he knows I was a Yankees fan too, so that's
interesting.
I don't know if like you can. And some guy messaged me and said he saw Joe Milton slinging it on. He was on his balcony watching practice.
He was at the fraternity?
Yeah.
Love it.
We
saw, I believe, him threw that one to Tyon Evans in the corner of the end zone.
Yeah, I think Tyon Evans is going to be damn good.
Oh, I can't wait. Does he count as a transfer? That was our next question. Who's your favorite transfer this season? Matt Adams likes Juwan Mitchell. That was his question. He said he likes Juwan. I think Juwan's going to be probably your biggest impact transfer, at least transfer from this year. I mean, I think
unless it's the quarterback, unless it's Joe Milton.
That's true. It could be Joe Milton. Then you better hope he's the biggest impact guy.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% convinced he's a starter, though. I think, again, at least starter all year. I should say that.
Yeah, I think right now, I think it's his to lose.
Yeah, I mean, probably. Because, they did bring him in. I don't know. I'm still a big Harrison Bailey fan. He was. I mean, the two other guys he's battling weren't on the roster last year. So take this for what it's worth. I still think he was the best quarterback on the roster last year. So,
yeah, which isn't saying a whole lot when you look at the other three.
It's not. It's not at all. I wasn't excited to say it. I just said it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I like. He was a guy that I kind of wanted to win the job. But also, like, I just want to win football games, so it is
right.
What it is.
That's first and foremost for sure. Okay, Kamara. Like I said, new.
Do you have anybody else?
I don't know if there's enough on this roster to truly. Like I'm with you. Maybe it's a good problem to have. Maybe you just didn't recruit that well. There's not going to be a ton of freshman impact.
A lot of those guys left anyway when Peru left. So
yeah, and I mean I know. I mean even Walker Merrill got some love today.
Well, I forgot about him. Yeah, you might see him.
I just don't know if you see him. And maybe he's a special teams guy too, but he did get some love today. I mean, Julian Nixon's just a freak to look like. He's a guy that I feel like you let off the bus first. You mentioned this to Ryan. Like, I feel like he's a guy that you're like, hey, you can cut the sleeves off your suit if you want. I mean, he's a big dude. So I mean, but I think you see Miles Campbell before him. I am excited, like I said, about Miles Campbell. You've got me pumped for him. If we're gonna give the kickers some love, JT Carver he's a freak. The dude can.
There you go. Yeah,
dude can dong punch. Dude can dong punch a football. So maybe see some long field goals from him this year. I don't know.
You think any freshmen are farting the skillet? Is that Desean Rucker?
Yeah, but I don't know if he's a return guy, so I don't know if he's an actual. I still don't know what a fart in a skillet is. I don't know if he's an actual fart in a skillet. Fart in a skillet. Is it the skillet? Is it a specific skillet? Is it a specific fart?
I guess. I don't know. Yeah, what fart are we talking about? Like a wet fart, or is it just like a squeaker? Or?
I mean, it's got to be a squeaker because a wet fart ain't going to go anywhere fast. And I can't imagine that's what you want in a punt returner. I can't imagine a wet fart is something you describe a punt returner as.
Oh, shart in a skillet?
Yeah. We lost some people on that one. I can imagine. I'm sorry. Just guys being dudes. What can you do?
Yep. Yeah, don't blame us. Blame Mike Eckler. He said it. He said it to the media.
I want to talk to him in like just in those terms. Like, how you doing today? Chili's hot. Like, yeah, I'm ready to go home. He's like, yeah, I'm ready to get out of here like a fart in a skillet. Like, just like that the whole time.
Just write down his sayings.
Yeah.
And we'll just have a segment on the show each week. Just with
Mike Eckler says.
Yeah.
Eckler says.
Oh,
Mike, DM me some good sayings. We'll read them off. And don't tell me what they mean. We'll just guess. Which I like. You use that in context, and I still don't know what it means. I've never heard that. No clue.
No clue. Fart in a skillet.
Alvin Kamara on the Jumbotron. Big time. NFL Rookie of the Year. 4-time Pro Bowler. He probably doesn't deserve it, though.
Yeah, who said that?
I mean, there's so many people that are just like, "Oh, dumb." Bull. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing.
False picks definitely.
Well, I mean, he said something even dumber. Here's the thing. Why don't they rotate them like every year? Like General Nealon, the guy the stadium's named after, should probably be the only one that's up there full time.
Right.
Now, nothing against Al Wilson, nothing against Jason Witten, but like, why not rotate them?
Yeah, and especially like your whole like the NIL and stuff like that. Like it's based on recruiting and stuff like that.
This might be a hot take.
Go ahead.
This might be a hot take. I don't think what you have on the Jumbotron does anything for recruiting.
It probably does, but like having a guy like that's somewhat the face of your program,
yeah,
that people actually know, like guys that are not from here know. I think that's something.
I mean, I think it
can't hurt.
I think it helps to have people up there that you like, that you know.
Yeah, but
I don't think having Alvin Kamara over Jason Witten helps you any in recruiting. Is what I mean.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, Tennessee wants to put their name, the recognizable names up there, but I don't think I meant when it comes to recruiting, I don't think having Alvin Kamara over Jason Witten affects recruiting.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it probably doesn't. I mean, I think it's just a sight to see. It's a cool thing to. I think
it's cool. I think it's cool to have a guy that's like recent,
right? Yeah.
Besides Butch Jones, I don't mean the coach. That the best thing he did was win 8 games, not 9 with a bowl game. I don't mean that. I mean like a guy that has had recent success both at Tennessee. I know it wasn't a lot of success, but a guy that had some success at Tennessee and then has had a lot of success in the NFL so far in his career. I think it does. I think it's good to have recognizable names up there. I don't know how much it really. Again, going from Jason Witten to Alvin Kamara, I don't think it like a lot of people are like, this is a recruiting tool. I mean, I think the names that Tennessee's had, like I think when you walk through the locker room, like I don't think it needs to be Alvin Kamara is what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, like, but if you are trying to sell to 16, 17-year-olds, like they probably don't know who Johnny Majors is. They probably don't know who Al Wilson is.
No, but he could be a mainstay on the Jumbotron too.
Both of them?
I mean, maybe not both. I think you probably have one mainstay. I wouldn't mind having 45 up there. That made me sound like he was Donald Trump. That's not what I'm talking about.
Or A.J. Johnson.
Or A.J. Johnson.
But I mean, like, he's had some success. I mean, he didn't get to finish out his career at Tennessee like we would have hoped. But
yeah, I don't know what that relationship is. I don't know if he could find himself on the Jumbotron or not. He could be a Pro Bowler here,
yeah, soon,
which is amazing for taking pretty much 3 years off of football or however long it was.
Yeah, 3 or 4 years, something like that.
It's incredible.
Yeah. I think it's cool.
I think it's really, really cool that Tennessee's able to have a recent guy up there.
But also, when they said it was going to be a current NFL player, it had to be Kamara, right?
Yeah.
Like that was the.
I didn't realize they had said that before it was going up. But it had to be. I mean, I don't even know who else it could be.
I mean, probably A.J. Johnson is the next like biggest name. Derek Barnett, maybe.
But
like when you look at the
how
success,
do you know?
I mean,
how do you know Derek Barnett, Tennessee? Like Alvin Kamara is associated. If you want to go like NFL player, he's the only one that's like associated with a team right now.
Yep. Yeah, that's true.
An NFL name. I don't know. I guess there's a couple guys you could have chosen from, but for the most part, I would have guessed if I'd known it said NFL player. I'm impressed how quickly they got that crane there.
Yeah, I like that was a good tweet. Yeah, it's amazing.
It's amazing, dude. They should have. Was it Fulmer or Davenport that said that, or was it Plowman? It was so long ago. I don't even remember who said it.
No,
I think it was Davenport.
I thought it was Curry.
Did Curry say that about?
No, he didn't, because maybe it was.
I think it was Davenport that said that they ordered the crane, but it takes some time to get it out there. And it wasn't even a crane. It doesn't even take a crane.
Yeah.
They have a system in place to quickly change those out. Like there's a thing designed on the Jumbotron to quickly do that.
Yeah, you're going to tell me it takes months to take down a fired coach. It takes one day to get a Vol legend, Jason Witten, off the.
I do kind of like to think that maybe the maintenance department just didn't want to work in the cold, because that would have been in winter. They're like, yeah, we'll do it in April. The crane will be here in April. And Davenport was like, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I like. That's what I'll think. And that's, you know what? I like it. Yeah. So I think, I guess I shouldn't. I mean, it definitely doesn't hurt recruiting. I'll say that. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think it also, like we have Les said that it's to keep Alvin supporting Tennessee. I think it's just keeping those guys around the program, and not just putting you on the Jumbotron, but having those guys around. He mentioned, some of these players got to meet Alvin Kamara. I think that resonates with players.
Yeah, you definitely want to keep them around.
Yeah.
And I guess you could always use it as a recruiting tool in the sense, but I don't think it took necessarily Alvin Kamara, but just to be like, you could be the next guy up there.
Yeah.
Maybe it does help having a younger guy. I don't know.
Yeah, more
but it's
recent.
Not like Al Wilson's still alive. I mean, it's not like it's just dead people up there. It's not Mount Rushmore.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know if I just don't think it, like, a lot of people act like this is the next great recruiting tool. Like everyone's going to have faces on the back of the Jumbotron. I just don't believe that.
Yeah, and let's not act like it's not a big deal. I mean, we had a segment called Jumbotron for years after that debacle.
Right. Absolutely. I think my face would look pretty good on the Jumbotron. I actually have a great picture that would look great on the Jumbotron. I'll tweet it out. It used to be my profile.
I've actually been on the other side of the Jumbotron, so not on the back. Yeah.
Oh, like you and your dad for the is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Friends in low places?
Yeah.
Did they do that last year at the end of the third quarter?
I wasn't there.
Oh, that's right. Does anybody know? If they don't, I think the stadium should break out in.
Friends in low
Why
places.
do they get rid of the best traditions? We still do welcome to the jungle on third down. The dumbest thing in all of sports. It's third down. Thank you for that.
You still stand up though.
Not anymore. Out of spite, I sit down on third down. And I'll tell you, I used to be the guy. There used to be a guy that sat in section Z12, and he would, on third down, he'd do this, and he'd go, trying to get everybody to stand up. If you know that guy, or if you are that guy, I hate you. Like, it just drove me nuts. The little threes, and it drove me nuts.
Dude, so I was behind the recruits one game, and I'll never forget this. It was Arkansas in 2015, and Ryan Johnson was there on his official visit with his dad. They both had the same Army haircut.
Oh yeah.
And they did third down for what? Well, this guy did the Focus Fox and just
rocking it out.
Not even really just vibing.
Yeah,
just vibing with it. I was
more of a groove, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, dude, that song's a lot faster than you're going. But hey, whatever gets you going, buddy. I guess it worked because Ryan Johnson ended up coming to Tennessee. He didn't.
There you go.
He didn't finish his career here, but
this is what it is. There's also a guy I want to mention that I hate in Section L, which is my section. Still, we're a little worried. I told Lane I got nervous about tickets, but we're good. If you're in Section L, say hi. row 46. You'll have to find me beyond that. I won't give you my seat names. I think that or seat numbers. I think that's how people steal tickets. I don't need the barcodes anymore. But he would yell, "Throw it!" Like every time, like the ball would get snapped. I'm not kidding. Like, "Set hut, throw the ball!" I'm like, "Geez, dude, let him catch it first." And I'm like, "It's a run play." He doesn't even know if it's a run or a pass. He yelled it so quickly.
I mean, like with the quarterback play, I mean that's probably not a bad idea to just chuck it and see what happens. That's kind of what we did anyway.
Fair. What happened to? Okay, what's the origins of Oski? Is he like? I don't know enough. I guess, but enough about the history of football. What's the origins? Why does no one yell that anymore? And a good interception.
I don't know. I feel like I should know that.
We used to yell it all the time growing up. Pass, ball.
Oski. Yeah, I don't know.
An alert call. I don't know. We need to bring that back. We need more interceptions so we can bring Oski back.
You know something else that's not Peter?
Peter's still used.
Is it?
By one guy.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's just hilarious. I'm not gonna get into that. It's probably.
I need to tell that story. I need to tell him that story, the specific one I remember, because it's hilarious. It was the greatest thing of all time. If you guys don't know, I don't know if this is still a thing, like across all football programs, but the football program that me and Landon played out together, I think it is. I still hear people yell Peter. So on punt team, you yell Peter when the returner ain't going to catch it to tell everyone to get out of the way, to run as far. I always ran out of bounds. I don't know where you ran.
Yeah.
I just ran out of bounds. The easiest thing to do. But there's Peter to get out of the way. And we had one coach specifically yell at a kid and ask him if he was gay. And then ask him if he knew what Peter meant. And that was awesome. That was fantastic. It was the greatest. It was the greatest moment of my life. Just because it was so just.
Well, it's something like you could never do that now.
Well, it was just so unexpected. And it was in the middle of a game. This wasn't practice.
He was on the 50-yard line asking a kid that question. It's not
yelling it at him. You think grabbing a face mask is bad?
Yeah.
I mean,
still coaching though.
Whoa! What? Apparently the word originated with General Nealand.
Oski?
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently it comes from the 7 maxims. Ball, Oski, cover, block, cut, slide. Like that is apparently where Oski originates.
Okay.
I did not know that.
I mean, like nowadays, I guess we've always known it, but like we didn't know like
I didn't know the origin. Yeah, I didn't know the origins of it.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize it originated in the maxims.
Love it.
Apparently it stands for other side caught it. There's no way that's true. There's no way. It's also spelled with an E. Where does the E come from? I'm just reading like a forum. And so the forum said General Nealand came up with it. No clue. Interesting.
Oski.
That's cool. We definitely need to yell Oski. Like that needs to be a stadium thing then.
Yeah.
Huh. That needs to be our next shirt. Is just Oski.
Okay. Yeah, I like it.
When Tennessee leads the league in interceptions this year, we'll make the shirt.
Yeah. How about we don't lead the league in drop picks? Let's actually yell
also
Oski.
Let's not lead the league in interceptions thrown. I meant caught.
Yeah.
Takeaways. Let's call it takeaways.
Yeah, let's not yell Oski before we actually catch the ball. Maybe that's what they were doing last year. Who knows?
Yeah, that was it. Les Wedley asked, which team, if either, does the game being named after Johnny Major's classic help, Pitt or UT? Also, huge fan. Glad they're doing that. I wish they were doing throwbacks. Like, I wish that was already planned, but they're not smart enough. I think Pitt wins. I'm sorry. I know that's negative all of me, I guess, but I mean, I just don't see Tennessee that early in the season, especially beating a team like Pitt who's expected to win 9 games this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like that. That's kind of the start of your. I guess it's not the start of your season, but that's like your first true test. That's to see where Tennessee's at.
You won't. I mean, unless they lose to Bowling Green, you won't know where they're at. If they
Right.
lose to Bowling Green, you know where they're at. If you do know where Tennessee's at after game one, it's bad.
But
but
if
you'll
you
really
lose to
find
Bowling
out.
Green, I know we joke about the Georgia State thing, and it wasn't funny in the moment, but at least that team was decent. Bowling Green is terrible, so if you lose to them, you might as well just pack it up. Like, let's not even play anymore.
Right. All right.
Also, I wish the Johnny Majors Classic, like, I wish it wasn't a noon game. That sucks.
I know. Also, I wish Volshop would not hate me. They don't respond to me on Twitter. They respond to everyone else's requests. I asked to make the throwbacks that Chad Fields showed for that game. I want one in number 45. Ignored. So, Volshop.
No free ads.
That just makes me so mad. Did you see the ones that he made that are like from, I guess, it would have been when Majors coached?
I don't think.
Like the early
I
90s?
probably have, but I don't remember.
They're gorgeous. Gorgeous. I'll print them. I'll make them. I'll design them myself. Cut the numbers myself.
Yeah, does it help anybody? I mean, it probably helps Tennessee a little bit because it's at home.
Yeah.
Maybe. But, yeah, I don't think it really does anything. I do hope they do something more
I thought
than
it
just...
said one. I didn't realize it said help. I'm sorry.
I hope it's more than just a patch and like a tribute on the Jumbotron. I hope they do something else.
I'm sure there'll be something pregame. I'm sure he'll be the legend of the game.
Okay, that'd be cool.
Do they still do that? I don't even know if I get there early enough for the legend of the game anymore. I definitely don't.
Yeah, I probably don't either.
I usually walk in like while the band's on the field.
Yeah, right before the tee.
Usually well before the tee. But not early enough to see the drum line march everybody on, which is great. Yeah, I've been there for the national anthem a couple times lately. Big national anthem guy.
Yeah, I probably get there around that time. Like,
Do you sing the national anthem?
Do I sing?
Or do you just listen?
I'm more of a I hum it.
Oh, I'm big sing it.
Big sing guy.
Oh,
Speaking
I'll
of sing, do you see where they're making Sing 2?
I never even saw Sing 1.
Really? Sing 1 is really good. You'd like
I heard
it.
it's really good. I haven't seen it.
Segments?
Let's do it.
Yves
real quick,
Pons.
Yves Pons, yeah. Yves Pons.
Yeah, signing with Memphis. I think that's big. Had a really good couple games in summer league and found himself. I think he's got to make the roster, but Memphis went ahead and signed him. Was undrafted, so I think that's big for him to really get that opportunity. He's kind of close to he's in Tennessee, but he's obviously a little ways from Knoxville. What is it? 7 hours, 6 hours, something like that. I think it's big for him. I think he's a guy that can really be an elite defender in this league. I mean, granted, they don't play a lot of defense in the NBA, but if you need somebody to guard somebody's best player, I think Yves Pons is more than capable of doing that.
Yeah, agreed. It's very exciting. I think he's going to be one of the more underrated guys. I thought we'd be talking about him being an underrated late pick. He's going to, just went undrafted. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. I did find, so this is from a KentuckyPrepGridiron.com. Apparently, there's another story that Oski was Nealon's bird dog who would catch the birds before he shot them. He would catch them, the birds that he shot, he would actually catch them out of the air before they would even hit the ground. So,
okay.
Which is pretty freaking incredible. I mean, I love that. I'm naming my next dog Oski. That's pretty freaking cool. So,
boom.
Yeah.
What are you getting? Is this
nothing soon?
Okay.
No. I'm just saying I've always I want a cool dog name. I kind of got I got my hand forced with Brutus, but I also think it's a really cool name, so I kept it. But yeah, my next one's definitely named Oski.
I like it.
Yeah.
What's trending?
Do we have any? I think mentioned we had some questions. Do we answer them all? I know we did answer some throughout the show.
We do have some questions. Thomas underscore Ledford 1 says, can we win with each of the 3 quarterbacks remaining? If not, which ones do we feel best about? I think you got a lot better chance of winning with the 3 you got now than the 3 you had last year.
I agree. And as far as who has the best chance,
I mean,
don't know.
Right. I mean, this is the most talent you've had at the quarterback position since Dobbs was here. Easy. Yeah. And I don't like as a collective unit, I wouldn't even say, obviously Dobbs is good, but like as a whole quarterback room, I mean, that quarterback room wasn't very talented either.
No. I mean, that was. I mean, a lot of
maybe
people
you go back to Eric Ainge and Brent Schaefer.
That might be the last great duo.
Yeah,
2 quarterbacks you had them at the same time.
So,
any other questions?
Did have some more. Jason 1210 underscore said, "What does D-Beck was tweet mean?" His tweet said, "Control what you can control. No need to stress about something that's out of your hands." I don't know exactly what that means. Maybe
sent after Brian Maurer, because that sounds like a do what you need to do and don't worry about it anybody else.
Yeah, I mean that was about 8-9 hours ago. So
was it another cryptic? Was it cryptic to the cryptic?
Yeah, so it's probably right after the scrimmage. I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of unfortunate. He plays a position that there's probably more talent than any other position at Tennessee right now. So,
yeah. Les had another question. Do you guys think having early morning practice helps the team? He thinks it will because I see Tennessee playing a lot of 11 games this year. Les, you must be in Central Time Zone. I kind of envy you sometimes. Yeah, noon Eastern. I mean, I think in that regard it probably does help. I think the noon games I think that's another good thing kind of for – I mean, I think a lot of coaches prefer noon. I know fans aren't crazy, but you just don't have to sit around all day. You wake up, you go to breakfast, probably go to a team meeting, and then you're on the bus and you're headed to the stadium. You play the game and you're done. You don't have all day to think about it. You don't have all day to make sure you're hydrated and eating right. You just kind of get the game out of the way. So I mean, I gotta think coaches prefer the noon games, and yeah, I certainly think getting used to playing early in the morning would help that too.
Right.
And then Graham Morgan mentioned Grant Williams elected VP of the NBA Players Union. I heard he's going to mandate that everyone play a game of Settlers of Catan every week. So that's good for the NBA.
Love it. That's the way it should be, right?
No, yeah, for sure. And Grant Williams, I mean, he's a great representative of Tennessee too. I mean, why not him on the Jumbotron? TBA needs the version of the Jumbotron. He'd be a great person to put on the Jumbotron.
They need some color on that.
I'm not a fan. Anyway. I'm not a fan of TBA.
Yeah, no, it's kind of an eyesore. Posey Vol says white cleats this year? ? Yep.
Yep. I'm excited. I hate the black cleats. Yeah, sorry, I'm not Booby Miles. In fact, I disagree. That's the only thing I hate about Booby is that he made a guy color his beautiful white cleats black.
Yeah. If you want to win, put Booby in with black cleats.
The original Booby football.
Booby football.
That's a great movie. I want to watch that movie now.
It is a good movie.
Any others?
That's all I got.
All right. What's trending? My first one, this is kind of trending in Vol country, so I don't know if it's technically trending, but that's ours. Bo Andrews, assistant golf. I've actually thrown some golf in last episode too. Bo Andrews, assistant golf coach, was playing in the U.S. Amateur, and he qualified for match play, which I think it's stroke play and then match play if you make the cut. Qualified for match play. I'm not sure how he played today, but Tennessee golf, not just the players, but the coaches tearing it up too.
Love it. Love it. I don't really have anything that's trending. I mean, NBA Summer League's going on. There's some guys on Tennessee players on NBA teams. So Kyle Alexander's with the Suns, Jordan Bone with the Pacers, Jordan Bowden with the Nets, Keon Johnson with the Clippers, Yves Pons with the Grizzlies. But then you got signed Jaden Springer with the 76ers and Schofield with the Hawks.
It's a lot of names in there. I know it's just Summer League, but that's a lot of names.
A lot of noms. The phone book.
I've got some more golf and basketball and kind of combine them here. J.R. Smith, he's enrolling at North Carolina A&T to finish his degree and is also waiting on NCAA to sort out his eligibility so he can play golf. Yeah. JR.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool. That's what I would do if I was a pro athlete. I would quit. I would do like Calvin Johnson did and quit while, before my body completely gave out on me. And then I would just go play whatever sport I always wanted to play at the college level.
Yeah, I just don't think he's going to be able to be shirtless and, pouring champagne or Hennessy on people.
They will not. I doubt they allow that on the golf course. At least the golf course is still be playing. They won't allow that. So, I think that's all I have for what's trending.
Also, the Field of Dreams is tonight.
That is
Yankees
tonight.
and White Sox playing in Iowa. It's a really cool venue.
Yeah, they've done a good job with it. I wish they would do more at that venue. I think they play Little League games at the original one, but I think the other one, I don't know if why are high school games not being played there? So I'm sure. Maybe they do. I just feel like you would see more of it if they did. Yeah, no, they definitely should. Definitely should. Okay, I've got Stupidity. He's got a couple.
What you got?
I won't call this guy out by name. I won't do that. But in the Vol for Life Facebook page, this was said. This is real. Well, I guess we're about to lose a QB, one with experience and leadership, and a kid who wanted to be here and play here and wear the T proudly. Guess we'll be waiting to see what happens. Hopefully, he comes back to practice tomorrow, Thursday. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and say, if he wanted to be here and play here, he wouldn't leave.
Right.
So, yikes. I'll just say that. That's the only, there's a lot to break down from that, but the dumbest part is to say someone wants to be here when they're leaving. No one's making them leave.
Yikes. Yeah. And he's also talked about leaving for 3 years. Like, this isn't the first time he's talked about it. So,
yeah.
My stupidity is Vol Picks says, I have a theory that Henry To'oTo'o might redshirt this year and wait for Christian Harris to leave for the NFL and for Pruitt to return to Alabama in 2022. It's inevitable and probably why he chose Alabama of all places. Get back with me next year on that.
All this dude does is do depth charts, and he thinks Henry To'oTo'o is going to be buried in the depth chart at Alabama.
Yeah, he's just gonna take a red shirt, dude.
Jesus. Also, yeah, an All-American's gonna red shirt.
Yeah, just red shirt and wait for his old head coach to come back so he can coach him.
I just want to know too. Do people think Nick Saban's stupid? I hate the guy, but I don't think he's stupid.
Also, there is no way Jeremy Pruitt is gonna get a job next year in college. There's no way.
Hugh Freeze did.
But he had to sit out for a little bit. Like, it wasn't.
Yeah, he did.
He did next year.
I don't think he fulfilled a show cause though. I think they were able to show cause to why they should hire him. I don't remember though. I'd have to look. But that's just a dumb thing to say all around.
Yeah,
he was my next stupidity. Where is it at? I'll have to pull it up. But Vols. This is the Vols Picks Award. Start giving this out every week.
Yeah, that's all I got for stupidity is just that one.
Yeah. I got that, and then I got a couple more. Most importantly, I have one more question too. But Vols Picks said, what? The point of having Witten up there was because he's a future Hall of Fame player and an in-state guy. This is a Butch Jones marketing tactic. It will be Kamara. He deleted the tweet. Good for him. Because that's incredibly stupid. I tweeted it. I'll tell you what I said. I said the Butch Jones marketing tactic put the aforementioned person on the Jumbotron. This one put a 4-time Pro Bowler and current NFL star who is beloved by Vol Nation on the Jumbotron. They are not the same. They're not even in the same ballpark.
Yeah, it's not even close. Also,
you think Alvin Kamara just gave money to Tennessee? He was like, yeah, put me on the back of the Jumbotron. You think Alvin Kamara did that?
100%.
And I'll say this. Alvin Kamara is a weird dude. Like, you would think a guy that's like, wearing a grill and a bull ring and all that would be like this super outgoing, showy person. But like, how much do you really see of Alvin Kamara?
Yeah.
So, he's a weird dude, but he's just an idiot. I think I want to say so many more mean things right now about him, but I'll leave it. I'll drop it. We have a question about Les asked, with the defense winning scrimmage, does that signal good or bad thing? If you're just making me answer based off that, I'm going to say a bad thing. but I don't necessarily think it does mean that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely good for your defense. It's probably not as good for your offense.
But I mean, there's what does it really truly mean when you say a defense won a scrimmage?
Yeah, no one knows how the scrimmage actually went. Did they have a good day? Probably. I'm sure the offense did some good things too. Probably not to what Heupel's liking, but he's also used to scoring 50 points a game. So
Right.
yeah, I mean, we probably didn't put up that amount of points.
Yeah. Again, I don't necessarily think it's a terrible thing. I mean, like I said, if you make me say right now which one, I would say bad, but I don't think that necessarily.
But I think with Tennessee's skill players, if they get a serviceable quarterback, I think the offense is going to be fine. The defense is where I'm worried about. So hearing anything good about them right now is A-okay with me.
Yep, agreed.
And he mentioned a lot of that defensive line did pretty well, and I think that just goes to show you how big of a hire Rodney Gardner was.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. And then, I had one more what's trending. I think this is really cool. I should probably say it for most important, but I'm going to mention it. So walk-ons, the national restaurant franchise, I think, they're awarding a walk-on in college athletics with a weekly NIL deal this season. They'll just share their stories through social media, and they'll feature these walk-ons throughout the season. That's pretty freaking cool.
That is cool.
I mean, I know it's not named for a specific walk-on, but named for like it's cool to honor the people that it's named for, I guess.
Right. Yeah, it wouldn't make sense if they were doing scholarship players.
Right. Right. So,
I also have another what's trending. It's the NCAA. They don't have any power anymore. I'm just I think the SEC has more power than they do right now, and I think it kind of showed with Baylor. They just don't have the pool, the power.
Stupid too.
So
very stupid. All right. Anything else?
That's all I got.
That's it. Guys, appreciate y'all listening. Appreciate y'all dropping everything in here, dropping questions, just chatting up. Football season is just 21 days away. We'll call it 20 now since we're pretty much to Friday. Very, very excited. Got to figure out my couch beer for the season, something that'll will the Vols to victory. And I can't wait to be back in Neyland. My first game will be on September 11th against Pitt.
I have a huge tailgate for that one.
Yeah, already ready. I'm already thinking about that smoky dog and peanuts. The Stadium Coke, not much better than a Stadium Coke. I know it's not crispy, but it's good in its own way. It's good in its own way.
Hey, you're a big smoky dog guy.
Oh, I get a smoky dog every game. Every game. It's tradition.
Every game.
Tradition.
Also, bring back the free refill stickers.
God, please. Because I love this is the fact that I have to say this is a great deal shows you how excessive stadium cost is. $12 for a dog and a hot dog, or a dog and 2 drinks. I'll buy that.
Yeah, it's not terrible. Yeah, one
good.
drink and one dog is not.
Yeah, for $12, get out of here.
Yeah.
Danny White, if you want me to, I'm not going to text a friend about this. I will text my friends always if you bring back.
I'll text you.
Text me or text Danny?
I'll text Danny if he doesn't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Blow up his phone.
100%. I mean, I don't know if they can do it now with COVID.
They can't do free refills.
Well, they just can't. I don't know if they can refill it.
Give me another cup. I mean, how much are cups? Get styrofoam cups. I mean, if that's don't have the souvenir cup. Everybody has a billion of them. We don't need any more.
Whoa,
just give me 2 drinks. I
love my souvenir cups.
Just give me 2 drinks.
Don't ever get rid of souvenir cups. Get the out of here.
Okay, well the second refill, that's how you know that they got that. Hey, I need a refill. Okay, here's you a styrofoam cup.
There you go. I like it. I have all my stadium cups from every stadium I think I've been to.
Oh, do you?
I don't have one from A&M. If someone has an A&M one, because I lost mine somewhere, probably in Northgate. Woo! Will you send that? Will you send me one? Worth it for sure. By the way, worth losing. If I had to trade Northgate for a souvenir cup, Northgate every freaking day of the week. I wonder if I could take my existing souvenir cup collection to Northgate to for more Northgate.
You get traded.
Johnny Manziel mentioned Northgate in a podcast I listened to recently, which
Podcast
doesn't shock me. Busting with the boys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No free ads. Lying in Jesus.
Yeah, sorry.
Guys, again, we appreciate it. Had a lot of fun. We will be back Sunday. It'll be high school football season next week.
Yeah, hopefully we can get somebody on that knows a lot of high school sports here in the next couple days, weeks.
Episode, yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah, we'll see. No free ads, so we can't say who it was.
No free.
All right, that's all we got. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.